Okay, story time. So I'm gonna try to make this quick, but around the holiday season, I really start to miss my great-grandparents, who both recently passed away. A couple years ago, my great-grandmother passed away from a stroke, and my great-grandfather just recently passed away over the summer at the VA hospital in New Haven. And it's around the holidays I start thinking about them because I just miss them so much. And they left behind such beautiful legacies and stories, and I want to share some of their stories with you today. So back in World War II, my great-grandfather fought in the army, and he ended up being stationed in Landshut, Germany, where my great-grandmother is from. So she used to work at a chocolate factory, and often during air raid or invasions or whatever, when sirens would go off, she would sneak away and help feed Jewish refugees. She would feed them chocolates and leftover food, and she really put her life on the line because she was at risk of being shot by German soldiers. And around the end of the war, my great-grandfather was part of the army that ended up liberating Dachau, which was about 45 minutes outside of Landshut. Dachau was a concentration camp. And they ended up meeting and falling in love, and they have such a beautiful story. They used to sneak around in hay carts, and one of the number one things that the army told the soldiers was don't fraternize with the enemy, but my great-grandfather always told us that my grandmother was irresistibly busty, blonde, and German, as gross as that is. Fast forward. Here I am. I'm a first-generation college student, English major, and I'm really starting to think about what my legacy is going to be, what I'm going to leave behind in this world, what my impact is. And I think about my great-grandparents often and all the impacts that they had on me, and they were a really huge part of my life for most of my growing up. Not many people are lucky enough to be able to have their great-grandparents in their lives, and I was blessed to have almost 19 years with them. But, they leave behind such beautiful stories and such stories of bravery and empowerment, and I realize, God, what the hell am I doing? And when I'm asked to defend the English major, it's what I'm gonna end up doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have any plans as far as professional goals. I know I would like to keep pursuing English as a major. I mean, as we all know, it has so much value in, tech fluency, communication, writing skills, public speaking, you name it. But I really started to think about all of the moral value it had. I really think that we get a lot of kindness and compassion and empathetic relationships when we read literature. We're able to understand different cultures, different perspectives through the eyes of different characters in our favorite books or through a New York Times op-ed. And you might be asking yourselves, Brandon, what the hell does this have to do with your great-grandparents? Basically, as a first-generation college student, I want to make them proud. When I said I was majoring in English, everyone was like, oh, you're going to be a teacher, and I was like, yep, that's it. But I realized that's not really what I want to do. And now I'm kind of lost of what now? I've been putting a lot of pressure on my shoulders to live up to their legacy and to be as brave and as empowering and as have a fulfilling, enriching life as they did. And I feel like that's an unnecessary weight I'm putting on myself, because throughout this course, I've really begun to see that I have a lot of bare bones, raw skills for good rhetoric, for writing, and I've begun to really flourish as a person. English has helped me do a lot of self-discovery. I've been able to connect with people, have a lot of student leadership opportunities, and while I don't know what I want to do outside of college, what I do know is that I'm going to be able to make an impact by just filling the world with the kindness and the empathetic skills that I've developed through being an English major. The world is lacking humanity, and I want to be able to show people the humanity that my great-grandfather showed when he liberated Jewish slaves and Jewish prisoners in concentration camps, and the bravery and the kindness that my grandmother showed when she was feeding Jewish refugees chocolates at the risk of her own life. I know I might not be able to have beautiful, powerful stories like that, but What I do know is that being an English major has allowed me to become a better person. And the world needs better people. The world needs kindness and compassion, connection. We need to start breaking down walls and stop putting them up. And I feel like no matter what I end up doing, whatever job I get, I want to be able to infiltrate the workforce and spread kindness throughout it in any capacity, in any way I can. Because at the end of the day, I know that my great-grandparents would be proud of me no matter what I did. And so long as I'm just a good person and I live up to their good name, I think that's all I could do. And I think English is the best way for me to do it. Well, guess that's it. Peace out, vlog.